Well, good morning, guys. It is tournament day one here. We got session one, block one coming up here in about an hour and a half. We're about to head down and get ready to go. We're going to quick run up to the car. We got a big old case of water we're going to take down to the paddock. And then we're going to get ready. I got a lot of small things to do today. I got to change some tape in the thumb hole of my spare ball. Got to change some grips. Also got to put some surface on some stuff, change some balls around. Just a bunch of small stuff to do this morning. So we're going to head on down and do that. But I also realized that last night I kind of left you guys on a cliffhanger. I had some exciting news, kind of a new addition to 2024, and I kind of let you guys hanging. I didn't follow through with that. So I would like to share with you now that in 2024, I have joined forces with Zello Gear and with Chris Prather and Jake Peters and their brand. I'm stoked. I am a huge supporter of Jake Peters and Chris Prather. I have been a fan of theirs ever since I was a kid. I mean, one of my biggest, fondest memories is watching Jake Peters win on the Badger show, because that was the first time Motive Bowling won a title. So huge fanboy of those two guys, and it's really cool to be a part of their team. And we currently, yesterday, got all of our new apparel brought into us. So I'm currently wearing my design today, which you guys saw in those first couple there, and I wore one yesterday in practice. So super pumped to be a part of them. And if you guys are looking for some new apparel, head over to Zello Gear, use the promo code TOETAP119 and you'll get 10% off of your purchase. And yeah, now that plugs in there and you guys know what's going on, along with the partnership with Jopo Grips. Huge shout out to Jopo. They are awesome. I can't describe to you guys how great Jopo is, and just the amount of support I've gotten from them. It's unbelievable. This year is going to be truly awesome. I am on some great teams. I am with some great companies, and although the bowling doesn't feel the best, I feel like I have the best support, and we're going to go out and just have a good run at it, have a good year, and see what happens. So speaking of bowling, let's go do that now. Let's get some stuff ready. Let's have a good day, guys. Love it here. Let's have a good one. All right, peeps. So after the first set, we are sitting at plus 117 and 33 back of the number. All in all, that's actually not bad considering just how poorly I made decisions. I made some really bad decisions, especially in game 4. I had a pair that was kind of tight, and I just overthought the pair. So that was on me. I shot 170. The 190 game there, I think that was game 2. That pair was really weird, and I kind of had to bail that one out for 190, so I'm not really too upset with that, but at the same time, too, it probably could have been 220. So definitely some mental errors there, and a lot of that has to do is I was just really excited to go bowl. I was really amped up, and that's kind of my downfall when I get too overexcited. I just don't bowl as good as I should. So what we're going to do is eat our delicious chipotle, our delicious chipotle, and we're going to get fueled up and ready to go here because we need to be back down there in about 25-30 minutes. So let's get our food eaten and hopefully go back down and put together a solid 6 games today. Whatever. See you down there. All right, how about that? We are done with the first 12 games of qualifying here at the RPI, and, well, I'd say we're sitting all right. We're currently 19 back of the number heading into tomorrow in the last 6 games of qualifying, and this second set was rough. I was having some really hard times. I was having a really hard time getting the ball off my hand in the direction I wanted it. I felt like I was just fighting this back and forth thing for the first 2 games. And then in game 3, I just said, you know what, I'm just going to work on my swing, because what I'm doing right now is not going to work at all. I'm just going to sit here and struggle all day. And so I started working on getting that swing to bump out a little bit and fall underneath me. And sure enough, game 3 or 4 or something like that, I go front 9, wrap 10, best shot of the day, wrap 10, of course. So 279 there. And then come back with another couple games in there somewhere. And like all this is like just trying to get the feel right, trying to get the direction off my hand right. And then in game 6, I go front 9 again. This time when I stepped up in the 10th frame, I had been sitting for a little bit and my thumb swelled. And when I put in the ball, I thought, I should be all right. I wasn't all right. And my thumb about went down the lane with the ball and ended up going through the face and getting 5. So it is what it is. Shot 260 that game. And then the last game, we were on a really tough pair, and I actually bowled extremely well the last game. It was a great way to leave the day with that last game. I shot 230 on this really tricky pair. It put me at 269 over and sitting 19 back of the number. When it comes to tomorrow, I'm just going to keep working on this swing. I'm not really going to think too much about doing anything drastic because, I'll be honest with you guys, I just don't have high expectations for tomorrow. My confidence isn't very high, as you can tell, but there is an opportunity to make a run, and if it's there and we're making shots, I'm going to be all in it, but I'll be blunt. Where I'm at right now with my shot making, I'm not a huge fan. So we'll just get some good rest. We'll get some good food. As you guys can see, I'm actually in my not-so-normal attire. We're about to go to the year-end award banquet for the regional tour. And we're going to get some good food. Elizabeth and I are going to have some fun talking to some of our friends and just enjoy the night. So we'll sleep on it. We'll get, excuse me, I can't speak English anymore, but we'll sleep on it, and then we'll get up tomorrow morning and give it all we got because it's all we can do. So you guys have a good night. I will see you in the morning. Well, good morning, guys. It is Thursday, final day of the RPI here, and I am just enjoying my amazing view this morning. It's beautiful out here. We don't get mountains like this back home. We get a lot of corn. But, well, today it's do or die. 19 back with 6 to go. Honestly, guys, if I just don't shoot 170 and 190 in a block, I'll be in a pretty good spot. I've tend to have decent looks both first blocks, so just get in my way, and can't do that. Not when the scoring pace is 230. So we're going to go in today with no expectations, just free swinging, letting it eat, let it rip, and I have a feeling that if I just go make shots and just enjoy today, we'll be in a decent position. And whether we make it or whether we don't, I'll leave here with my head high because, man, we just made it here. It's incredible. But love it here at South Point. I'm going to go really enjoy these last 6 games here and to make the best of what we can. But before we do that, Elizabeth and I are going to go get coffee, because I feel like that is what's going to put me over the top today, because the past 2 days I did not get my coffee before we went and bowled. So, you ready? Let's go get coffee. Remember right away.
Good morning, bowlers. Are here for our foot running qualifying this year's PBA, RPI, and
Well, that went better than expected. I know you guys are probably like, why are you such a sour sap this morning? That's because I didn't think this was going to happen. But you know what they say? Given an opportunity, do the best you can. And I happened to take advantage of all the opportunities that came my way today on the lanes. One thing I did differently today is just trusted the process of what I saw the past 2 days was going to be the same thing that happened today. And it was right on cue. Everything was exactly the same. The best part of today, I think the biggest win was in game 6 there. I had to jump into a Crimson Jackal because that pair was just torched. And after going 310, picking it up, and then moving forward left, labeling the next one and going right to the face for a 4-6-10, I didn't panic. I didn't freak out. I just said, another 4 and 2, get the ball to the right, it'll hook. And sure enough, I ran the next 6 or 7. Then I wrapped 10 in the 9th on a really good shot, and then was able to step up and double in the 10th to shoot 240 and to be in easily. Very pleased, very pleased. Some of the adjustments I made yesterday did very, very well and correlated very well today. Just kept making progress and shot making. So very, very pleased. Now we got about 30 minutes till I need to be back down there to get ready to bowl again, and then we'll have roll call and get ready to go at it in the round of 16. I don't know who I'm going to draw the first round, but either way, it's the best of 3, and I'm excited. It's cool that I made this cut again. This is a really fun tournament to bowl. It's nice that I kind of fought off the mental demons from last night and this morning and was able to overcome them. So now we're going to eat some snacks and get some water back in me, and we'll get back down to the center. Get ready to knock them down again. So in the round of 16 here, our first match is against Chris Keltslow, and I won't lie to you guys, I was kind of on a dopamine high going into this. I was really jacked up and excited from what I just did, in qualifying, and how I overcame all those mental demons and put together a really, really big block to jump into the number. And it wasn't an amped up as in like a jittery, like, anxious. No, it was a fired up as in, I'm going to go win this tournament. I've felt this a couple times this year already. One that I can reflect back on was in Marengo when I ran down Nate Purchase, and also in Anderson. I kind of knew when my look was there, it was my tournament, and I kind of started to get that vibe here at the RPI and heading into this first match. But I also knew that there was still a job to do. I knew that my look was going to be decent. I knew that I was finally executing shots. What it all came down to was me mentally staying together and making shots. And you can't let off with any of these guys. I mean, Chris has made shows, and the rest of the guys in the field here are super, super good. So I kind of knew, like, all right, you've got work cut out for you, but you know what you're doing. You're in the right mental space now, and you know you're going to have a good look. Go out and execute, and let's make a run. And I was really, really excited to be back in match play here for the RPI, and I was ready to give Chris all I could give him. So also, let's get into this round of 16. The round of 12 and the round of 8 are all best of 3. And then the round of 4 and the round of, well, obviously the championship match is a single game elimination. So make sure I clear that up before we get into this. But now, into the round of 16 against Chris. All right, well, now on to the round of 12. After putting together a really good 2 games against Chris, now we move on to the round of 12 against Wesley Lowe. And I was right where I need to be mentally. This was probably one of the better mental states I've been in a while when it comes to bowling. And not that I'm a psychopath or a nutcase or anything like that. It's just you kind of have to find yourself the right rhythm mentally to go out and compete at these levels, because these are very high levels. You have to keep everything at a perfect frequency so that way you can execute at the highest potential that you could possibly be. And so going to this next match against Wesley, I knew the game plan is there, the execution is there. All we got to do is keep the round thing on the shoulders, and if we did that, we were going to be a-okay. So the game plan going to this match was still the same. We were going to start with a Black Venom or a Venom Shock. Those were the best looks I had so far this week, and I was just going to roll with that and just make shots. And yeah, this was another match where I was ready to rock and roll. I was fired up to get in there and compete. So now we're getting to the best of 3 of round of 12. Now onto the round of 8, and after putting together 2 really good matches against 2 extremely good bowlers, that trophy was looking really pretty. And maybe not the best thing to be thinking in the round of 8, but I also knew too that my execution and my game plan was spot on. And heading to the round of 8 against Petey Vargo, that is the one thing that I changed, and I wish I wouldn't have. Going into the round of 8, unfortunately, I got tricked in practice, and the middles got a little bit flatter just from the pair sitting for a little bit longer. And urethane looked decent in practice. Should I have gone away from my game plan and throwing the Black Venom and the Venom Shock? No. However, when you are as zoned in as I was, you see every little thing that happens on the lanes, and sometimes you get tricked. So the first game here in this match, you'll see me struggle quite a bit, but we still put together one heck of a fight here in this match against Petey, and I was still in it mentally, and I was ready to go out and see what I could do to run down that top 4 and give myself the best chance at winning this title. So let's get into this round of 8 against Petey Vargo. Well, we gave her one heck of a run, didn't we? Oh, man. You know, considering that I didn't even think I was going to make match play when we got here this week to finish, round of 8, it's a great week. That's a great week. This morning, obviously, I threw it well in qualifying, got into match play, and I kind of had a good game plan. Executed extremely well the first 2 matches and won 2-0. There's not really much to talk about in those matches because I'll be honest with you guys, I was just locked in, throwing it good, and just making shots. And then in match 3 in the round of 8, something weird happened. The patterns were getting flatter just because of how long the pattern was sitting. The middles were getting hookier. And so I had this brilliant idea to pull out a urethane ball and try to go a little bit straighter to see if that middle one is washy. And unfortunately, it looked super good in practice. The problem was the lanes weren't quite as flat as I was thinking. And after wasting about 6 frames goofing around, I finally got back in the match, and I needed a double in the 10th to win, and I threw the worst shot of my life. And that's basically how that match went. He actually, the guy I was bowling, Pete, right? Yeah, he had a chance to shut me out in the 9th and 10th of the second game and just to go 2-0 and get me out of there. But he went open, and then I needed to step up and double, and I did. How? I don't really know because I kind of lost confidence in that pair. I didn't really know what I was doing. But I made 2 shots happen. And then after those 2 shots fell, I made a move and flushed the last one. I kind of thought, okay, game 3, here we go. I started off with the front 4, and I was cruising, and I threw 1 shot. Now, it missed. I missed, but it was a good miss. In my mind, the worst result should have been like a 4-pin or maybe a 9-pin, but it 4-6-10'd. It was just a little left and a little spinny, and I thought it was going to be just fine. It was the miss I would look for, and it didn't. It saw it, went right through the face, and of course I couldn't leave something that was makeable. I had to leave a split. So I go to the left lane, strike, and I come back there, and I'm like, okay, we don't need to move in deeper. We just need to be softer with it. Let it get through the spot. I make a really good shot, and it 2-8-10s. And so my match was basically over then. He was rolling on 270 pace, I'm pretty sure, and now I can only punch for 220, which I did. I punched for 229, forced him to get up and mark on the 10th because he spared, and he could cheat for 250, and he had to get up and mark on the 10th. And hats off to Pete because he stepped up and he marked. So he threw a strike and ended my day. But all of this, it's good. It's all good stuff. You guys can ask Elizabeth. She's right there. I didn't think I was going to even make match play this week. So to be here and to have the opportunities I did today and to throw it as good as I did, which I haven't done in a couple months, feels good. And it's right on time for the tour season coming up. Literally next week, we're heading to Wichita, Nebraska to bowl the Players PTQ. Kansas. Did I say Nebraska? Yeah. I'm sorry. I got Nebraska on my mind because we got stuck in a blizzard there. So anyways, and I'm still kind of unwinding from the day, but we gotta head home now. We got a 26-hour car ride because we got a wedding to get to, and we're not stopping. We're getting home. You ready? Perfect. Before we end this, I just want to give a huge shout out to people who have helped me out tremendously, and that is Brett Spangler from Motive. He has been unbelievable to me. Jerry from JoPo. It's been awesome. And then, obviously, Chris Prather and Jake Peters with Zello Gear. They have just been so great to me, and I am so excited for this upcoming year, guys. I can't explain to you how pumped I am. And I think the best part is I got the greatest sidekick ever right there. She just had a donut, so she's actually really happy right now. But I think she's also ready for me to wrap this up so we can get going home. So, guys, good week. Got close. It's not close enough. And, huge shout out to Patty D. He just won back-to-back RPI titles. So, Pat, you owe me dinner. Take care, guys. See you at the next one.